Hello, Skinner West Rock Band students and Skinner West drummers. Welcome to another installment of Rock Band with Mr. Levi. In today's class, we are going to talk about swing patterns and what that means. Swing patterns are something that you hear a lot in other forms of music, like jazz music and some forms of marching band music, but mostly jazz music. And what does swing mean? Swing is usually refers to a feel. So a drum pattern that's swinging might sound like. That's pretty slow swing, but the idea is that that eighth note pattern has a little bit of bounce to it. That first note and each eighth note pair is just a little bit longer than that second one. I'm going to tap chord or notes with this stick, and with this other one, I'm going to tap some swung eighth notes. Okay. Let us compare that to some straight eighth notes. Straight eighth notes are how we usually play eighth notes in our rock drum patterns, especially on the hi-hat or the ride cymbal, whatever it is we are playing. So I'm going to play the same 4/4 basic rock beat two times. One of them, I'm going to play them with straight eighth notes, and then the second time, I'm going to play with swung eighth notes. So here is two measures of straight eighth note drum pattern. I'll bring it back down to my handy-dandy historical atlas, which is acting as my drum pad today. So let's imagine I'm playing on the ride cymbal over here, the snare drum right here, and of course my kick pattern. So it sounds something like this. This is two measures of straight eighth notes. Okay, let's hear that again. Two measures of swung eighth note. Straight eighth notes. Do you hear how each of those beats are even? They all last the same amount of time. That's even. Now I'm going to play four measures of a swung eighth note pattern. My kick drum and my snare drum are going to be doing exactly the same stuff. Nothing is changing. The only thing that is changing is the eighth note pattern, which we are playing with our right hand, right? So that sounds like this. Okay, so now we're going to put on our metronome. And we are going to try this at a few different tempos. So the first tempo we are going to try it at is 72 beats per minute. Okay? We're going to do two measures of straight eighth notes, and then we're going to do two measures of swung eighth notes with a little break in between. So 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now try to swing with me. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we taking the time to talk about swung eighth notes as opposed to straight eighth notes? Well, it's because in our Pink Floyd song that we were learning, Money, there are basically two sections of the song. There is the main song form, which is in 7. We, of course, worked on that 7/7 pattern the other day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay. But then there's a second section of the song, which goes back to 4/4, but instead of playing straight eighth notes, they play swung eighth notes. I'm going to play that beat, what it sounds like, closer to the tempo on the recording. I'm going to set my metronome to 126. 126. This is right around the tempo that they play on the recording. So, I will do, once again, 2 different measures. This first one, 2 measures of each pattern. First I'm going to do straight, and then I'm going to do swung for you to compare, for you to hear the difference, and then I'm going to ask you to play with me. So here's 2 measures of straight eighth notes at 126 beats per minute. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. Bring that down a little bit. Okay, now try it swung. Listen to me. 1 and 2 and ready and go. Okay, now try it with me. We're going to bring this tempo down. I now have the metronome set to 100 beats per minute. So now try to swing it with me. Before we add the kick and the snare, let us just work on getting the cymbal pattern, okay? Da 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 da. 1, 2, ready, try. Da da da. Try it again now. 1, 2, ready, try. 1, 2, give it a go. All right. Now, let us try to add the kick and the snare. All right. 1, 2, ready, go. Try that again now. 1, 2, ready, try. Okay, very, very good. Now, we could have a conversation about what is the difference on the technical level, but I think what is more important right now is just that we are listening to the difference and trying best to emulate that difference. So in the Pink Floyd song, Money, once they get to that solo section, which goes back to 4/4, they are playing this basic pattern. Da 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 da. They keep the kick snare pattern. That stays the same from our normal 4/4 rock beat. They just swing the eighth notes that they're playing on the hi-hat or the ride cymbal. Let's move over to our imaginary hi-hat. 1, 2, try eighth notes, swung. 1, 2, ready, try. This part stays the same. we just swing the eighth notes. Give it a try again. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so when you're practicing this by yourself at home, what I would recommend is do it at a few different tempos. We always want to play with the metronome if we are able to, and it's always a good idea to start slower. This is 60 beats per minute. Let's do it together a few times at a few different tempos. Listen to this one, listen to two measures, and then join me for the next two measures. 1, 2, listen now. That's a really pretty slow swing. Now try it with me. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now let's bring it up a little bit. I'm going to put my metronome at 80 beats per minute. This still might be a little quick for you, but I just want you to give it a try. 1, 2, 2 measures now. Okay, very good. Now, let's bump it up even more. If this is too fast for you, that's okay. I just want you to give it a try. This is 100 beats per minute. Same beat. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, very good. Now, I'm going to bring this up to 120. Like I said, this is around the tempo that they actually play at on the recording. So let's do this together. Let's give this a try, Sixten. If you are able to play this, no problem, then this song is going to be easy for you. It's just going to be about getting that 7/4 pattern down and learning some of the other major drum fills between some of the transitions. So let us practice this 4/4 swing at 120 beats per minute. Let's see if we can do 8 measures without stopping. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Again. Great job! Great job! Did you get through all of it? If you had any problems, you can always pause the video, rewind, and try again. So, moving forward, we'll talk about some of the mechanics of what, from a technical perspective, makes a swung eighth note different from a straight eighth note. But for now, it's more important that you just listen to the difference and you try it yourself. I will be posting a recording of Money online, and listening to that should be able to help you make the distinction. Thank you so much for tuning in this beautiful Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you're staying inside, staying safe, and washing your hands. Until next time, happy practicing!